Alright?
Absolutely.
So you're filming me, I don't mind, I'm happy.
Yeah, I think that's fair because, you know, the people deserve to hear the story. I'm going to write it down, but, you know, if there's video with it...
Absolutely. So I can say that again, I'll say that again for you. There's been an election, the Irish people voted, they voted in good faith. They thought, okay, we get the Sinn Féin, Fianna Fáil out of government and things will change. There'll be politics for people and values instead of profit, right? I represent people before profit, right? And the Socialist Workers' Party, right? Here we are. And we represent values versus profit and ordinary people versus private gain and global capitalism. The Irish people didn't want to be bailed out. They just wanted to continue living their lives and so on. What's happened? Nothing's happened. The new government is doing a U-turn on its policies that it said it was going to change.
And they promised there would not be a bailout?
They promised that they would fight against the IMF and they would negotiate conditions and that they would not allow it for the ECB and IMF to impose a huge sovereign debt on the Irish people. Because it's not our debt, it's the debt of private capital. People have gambled, they've lost. It's like Russian roulette. Why do we have to pay the roulette? We didn't play the game.
What do you recommend?
What do I recommend? It's a long story. I recommend you go to our website, which is www.swp.ie, and join the fight. Number one, unless people get into the street, like you and me, unless we actually come into the streets, nothing is going to change. The people power is about being in the street and saying no. We reject your logic, the logic of capital. We reject that and we're in favour of a logic for people. And that's what People Before Profit stands for. We now have in the door, there are 5 left-wing ministers, okay? Some of which are Socialist Worker Party people, they're People Before Profit, and the others are also on the left. This obviously means for each one of those and for each of the 15 elected independents, it's people who have been voted in by at least 10,000 votes. That means a lot of people are saying it's not quite right. The Labour Party doubled its vote in the last election. So there's a very strong symptom, very strong signs of a desire for change. But it's not any kind of generic change, it's a desire for the change towards, if you like, a redistribution of wealth. At the moment we're looking at a policy making that goes back to the early 1990s, which is neoliberal capitalism, okay? So that's capital finance speculation. It's capitalism, it's profit driven as opposed to society driven.
You're saying
I think capitalism is structurally problematic in terms of running a society in an equitable way. When you put at the center of your values emancipation, justice, or even the values of the French Revolution, you know, if you put those values first,
yes,
how can you?
The French Revolution included property.
Well, but freedom. That's right. But instead, what's happened? One thing is small holdings. What we're talking about is a redistribution of poverty towards an elite of few people who are supported by an elite of intellectuals.
The property in the means of production.
Yeah, I'm talking about, the means of production. Okay, now things have changed, as you know. Now we have immaterial labor. Things have changed since Marx. Things have changed in the sense that now a lot of labor is immaterial. It happens on computers. Maybe you work with computers some of the time.
We just might, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So do I, some of the time. It's more about, if you like, the privatization of society. That is the huge problem. Privatization of society, number one, and a restriction of freedom in real terms. It's one thing in the French Revolution, in Robespierre, to be talking about freedom, but we need to talk about freedom in real terms. What does it mean for an ordinary person to be in a position to be free? Whereas if you take capitalism and neoliberalism, the way it considers freedom is the freedom to sell, if you like, or to buy sugar, unrefined sugar, raw materials from Africa, and resell the refined sugar to the same country and make the huge profit and give small amount of money to that.
And you represent the Socialist Party?
Socialist Workers' Party.
Can I have your? I will just take one, and just so the viewer can see what this is about.
If you want to